Yo guys, welcome to The Last Lap. Don't forget to drop a lovely, juicy 5-star rating if you're watching on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Hope you enjoy, and let's get into it.
We haven't actually talked about. We haven't talked about Mercedes.
Mercedes.
I don't really know
weird one, because they're better than they were at the start last year. I know they got a podium last year, but they kind of lucked into that. And they were miles off. And then obviously Hamilton, as you said, was putting all the computers on his car in the world. So it's a strange one because they're still there, but not there enough.
It's almost like they've not moved, but they also have moved backwards a tiny bit, just purely because Aston Martin are there.
It all depends on how long they can hold up this ego of do the no side pods work.
Yeah.
Because
we all know they don't.
But that's the thing, that they're looking at that and going, if it does work, then everyone else is playing catch up on them. Or do they go the route of everybody else, and then you're on the back foot and you have to then learn that car, redevelop it, catch up, and then try and re-overtake the team that are already doing that.
Yeah,
it's more difficult.
Just firm it now.
So it's that tricky position, but there'll be one way or the other. It's looking like it's the Red Bull way that's going to be, that's how every car is going to look by the time we get to the next regulation change.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all about that ego for them.
Toto, all the Mercedes are waiting for is just for Toto to turn around and say, you know what, Christian was right when he said in Drive to Survive to change our fucking car.
Yeah.
When he comes to accept that, then the side pods will return.
Well, because apparently Toto has come out and said that this isn't going to work long term, which is, I mean, it was reported by like Autosport and valid sources, so I'm assuming it's not
Great confidence for George and Lewis, I'm sure.
That's what I mean. Like, because again, like it wasn't that long ago that, and again, from my understanding, the upgrades that they're going to bring in a few races' time, they're not going to change the side pods completely. It's going to be an evolution of this current concept.
Yeah, no.
And it's like one more roll of the dice, maybe.
Going from 0.5 side pods to 0.75.
You know what I think they should do?
Gradual increment.
One side of the car has a side pod,
asymmetrical.
and the other doesn't.
Yep.
Compare which side is
For
best.
vibes alone.
NASCAR.
I don't see how that would even help.
Immediately after this podcast, I'm going to call Adrian and say, Adrian,
You've got a fucking
get your
plan.
sketch pad out.
Get your napkin out.
And that's it's like for Lewis and George. I do feel a bit for George because he got his opportunity at Mercedes. Was like, I'm going to Mercedes, and then their third best car last year, maybe second by the end of the season, and now they're here again. It's like,
I don't know, it's better than being in that Williams though, still, isn't it?
Yeah.
But when he was in the Williams, Valtteri was at the front in Mercedes. So
he was the only Mercedes driver to win a race last season, as my shaved face will attest to.
True, it's growing back strong for all you audio listeners only. You won't be able to see Dan's beautiful
And maybe
beard.
if you rub your beard against the microphone, they can hear it.
Yeah, look, there you go. There's a bit of ASMR beard action for you there.
That could be a YouTube first.
Yeah.
ASMR beard.
I'm sure that
Move over.
Yeah.
All the Twitch hot tub streamers. It's over.
That's what we should do at the end of the season, Tommo.
Do you reckon?
Let's do a hot tub stream for the final race of the season.
We're not on that stupid Kick, are we? Other streaming platform.
Oh yeah,
that's the one that allows that anything goes on there.
anything.
Yeah, it's proper
Who
stuff.
also coincidentally the sponsor.
How do you know that, huh?
Romeo.
You're a regular viewer on
Knowledge.
Yeah.
Knowledge of the
His
industry.
finger is on the pulse.
On the pulse.
Of all this content creation malarkey.
I think that Mercedes are not going to be in a title fight this year. I think that's
No, but the W14 is
given,
miles
isn't
better
it?
than what the bloody W13 did at this point of the season.
and it's not porpoising like mad.
No.
Yeah.
Lewis hasn't got out on crutches or back brace or anything.
We're still yet to go to Baku though, so
he hasn't had a hip replacement.
you never know. But I think this is the thing. It's like it's copying someone else's homework, but then also doing a better job than them.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. It's like
Bring on the black balls.
all of the time that Red Bull and Aston Martin are refining, even Ferrari refining what they've already got. Mercedes are talking about changing what they've got, and then it's like,
and then you've got to actually be good at it as well.
yeah, and that's just because they're Mercedes and got that name and they've got these two really big high-profile drivers does not guarantee anything.
No, in the era as well of the cost cap and tunnel and all that. Are we going to be in a position where we have Mercedes basically write off this year so they can actually get it right for next year?
Your mistakes are more punished. I think in the cost cap era, you can't if you cock up, then you can't just
pay your way out 1.7 billion at the car next year and just be sick.
They can't Manchester City their way out of this one.
yeah.
That's really
P, just Mercedes FFP.
Alfa Romeo deserves a mention. Bottas low key P8,
man.
Which is what he did start of last season as well. Just low key point scoring finishes consistently.
That's 8.0.
Just a quiet race for him, wasn't it? Just sort of no man's land. Wasn't in that fight in the field.
He was fighting with Alonso and
do you remember
when we were bare confused and we were like, how's he ended up here? He pitted
like really early and then got in that fight with George and Stroll for a little bit.
Oh yeah, it was Stroll. Yeah, sorry.
Isn't that like sort of the story of Bottas's career though? You just sort of see him in a race and you're like, how's he ended up there? Like, good man, appears out of nowhere and he's in like a point scoring position. Like what?
Yeah. The power of that mullet, man.
It is, big up the mullet.
And again, I think that Joe didn't have a good race. He had a bad start, fell down through the field. Not a good considering the how close they've been in qualifying. They were in qualifying. How testing. It felt like Joe was quicker than Bottas most days actually in testing. He went quickest on day 2, didn't he? As well. So it's like the Alfa Romeo's clearly got good pace, and again, Audi are starting to. They've already bought a 25% stake in Sauber, so that's starting to come good. And I think their cars in now that we've actually seen, we've pulled everyone's trousers down, and we know what we're looking at now. So,
well, this podcast is not how I remember.
Have you ever watched Naked Attraction? It's kind of like that,
Naked Attraction.
Yeah.
Were you asking for a team principal version of Naked Attraction?
Can we fucking not?
I mean,
got a big issue.
Drive to Survive next season. I wouldn't put it past them.
Drive to Schlong.
Schlong to Survive.
Look, I could, in my pre-season, I put Alfa Romeo ahead of McLaren.
Yeah.
And from what we saw today, and again, like you look at the momentum and Joe's second season as well, I could see that happen.
Ahead of McLaren, maybe as long as they don't do what they did last year, which was go backwards. Because I feel like McLaren have the potential to go forwards. Alfa Romeo still, Audi have put a little bit of money into it, but it's still not there yet.
Alfa Romeo easily had the worst drop off, I think, of anyone last season,
and especially like Alfa Romeo are, they're leaving it next year. So is there going to be enough money coming in? I don't know.
The money's leaving it next year. That's about it. Alfa Romeo, or say Alfa Romeo, Sauber is what they are if you peel the sticker off, do have one of the most advanced wind tunnels going.
Yeah, but they've had that for a long time. Although they've not had the money
no one else has built anymore.
Utilise it. Yeah.
It's not until now. You've got Aston and McLaren building them. Red Bull apparently are going to start building a new one.
Yeah. You think like most teams on the grid will have those facilities going forward, but I guess AlphaTauri's a team we haven't spoken on yet. Yuki almost got into the points.
Yeah. I was actually quietly impressed by AlphaTauri because I thought they were going to be shit. I genuinely thought they were going to be at the back.
But I don't think anyone's going to be shit anymore.
No, because we have a field, Tom.
Yeah.
We don't have a midfield.
We have a big, lovely field.
Big, luscious green grass field. But Yuki obviously being P11, right on the back of Albon. I think it was really solid. That was really good. Obviously, De Vries struggled in quali. Got into a decent position, but then was on the hard tyres. What do we make of his first full race in a 4C?
Did okay, in all fairness. I think did better than I expected him to do. Would have liked to see them box him to softs just to see where I think maybe he could have finished ahead of the Haas, because I think one of the Haas overtook him. I don't know whether Magnussen got him as well.
Yeah.
Because they were on the softs at the end. So I think more impressed than I thought he was going to be, but I did write him off at the end of the day. So make of that
it's mileage under his helmet, to start.
Yeah. I still class him as a rookie, so I give him like 5 races leeway before I start judging too hard.
Yeah. But I think, that's the thing. When you look at how close Sargent was, I think Sargent for me was, Piastri wasn't able to showcase everything, but I think, Sargent was the rookie of the day for me, I think.
Yeah.
Well, Piastri sure demonstrated his skills in pulling up into a pit box and turning the car off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vital skill sometimes,
Yeah, I think it's going to be a vital skill this year.
For God's sake.
Oh, I do feel for Oscar. It's, I've already seen some good memes on Twitter about, because with the Williams being quicker than the McLaren as well, it's like, oof, it's not looking
good, Brev.
It's not. It really isn't. It's far from good.
Shall we? I think we talked about all the teams. I'm trying to think if we haven't touched on. We think we touched on everyone ever so slightly.
Pause.
We,
Basically, everyone's mid. Everyone's washed.
Yeah, come back next year.
Everyone's
well
finished.
done, Max. We'll see you in 2024.